Hello there. Once again, large crowds are gathering around the Bell Hotel in Epping, the recent scenes of unrest after a young girl was assaulted there. And Brother Wendell from Tommy Robinson's Urban Scoop is reporting on it there and asking locals what their concerns are. But what gets me is that many of those there with real concerns are afraid of showing their faces on camera or even talking to him because of the fear of being called racist, etc. And with the usual suspect Antifa types screeching racist and Nazis at them, who can blame them? Even though there are so many locals who say they've had enough of people who they say are only here for a free ride and to harass people. And that's not me saying that, it's the locals who are at the sharp end of this who are saying it. And while they voice their concerns, the police don't seem to be averse to allowing the Antifa types, who are well versed in protest, to get close to ordinary concerned locals. And I reckon there'll be many people across the country who feel the same. So far apart from some hurty word shouting about the PM Keir Starmer, everything appears to be going peacefully, which is in total contrast to the woke BLM type, mostly peaceful, but in reality violent protests the woke get up to. So, Richard, what do you think about this?
I think it is mostly peaceful at the moment, although I am starting to see tensions rising quite substantially. You can understand why, you can understand why. It doesn't mean that people should, of course, I'm not condoning anything, and we should never condone any action in any way, shape, or form that is other than just making a silent and peaceful protest. We would never do that. We must always stick to Keir Starmer's guidelines on these matters, and that's the end of it. Right, there's one problem here, though. People will be getting a bit bloody annoyed, as I did, as soon as I came across this in The Guardian. And it's The Guardian, so what do you bloody expect? Hundreds of people staged new protests outside Essex Hotel, housing asylum seekers. Riot police deployed to anti-immigration flashpoint in Epping as far right seek to exploit local tensions. Hundreds of people have staged a fresh demonstration outside a hotel, blah, 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 in Essex. Flashpoint. Just going on to mention the far right taking advantage of the situation. Essex police said some in the crowd were using fireworks and throwing eggs. So I will actually go now to Essex police here and their update on response. This is as of 7 p.m. Our officers have been at a planned protest in Epping throughout the afternoon today, and we are now aware of some protests using fireworks and eggs in the crowd. We have closed a section of High Road Epping for the safety of the public and those protesting. We will not tolerate any criminality on our streets. Absolutely, sir. Whether linked to protesting or not. Well, that should go without saying, though, shouldn't it, really? It sounds like they're sort of lining themselves up for a justification of action. We continue to manage the scene, and the top priority of all our officers is the safety of our communities. Thank you to everyone in Epping for their patience in the area on the roads during this disruption. One man has already been arrested at today's protests on suspicion of a fray, following reports of an assault near the Bell Hotel in Epping on Sunday, the 13th of July. He will be taken into custody while our inquiries continue. Our officers continue to manage the scene and will make further arrests of further offences are detected. There should be if further offences detected, said the chief superintendent, whatever his name is there, Simon Anslow. Okay, thank you for that, Simon. The thing is, Jeff, to be honest, I'm a little bit annoyed at this because the framing from The Guardian is going to be winding people up. They'll be looking at this. They'll have this sent to them. Twitter's an instant feed of information. You see, this is not the far right. These are concerned locals. And maybe one or two have turned up. I don't know. But I think more to the point, though, this is Britain and locals waking up and not tolerating what is a very dire issue. And this is And this is unfortunately what we're going to expect throughout the country, I'm sure, as the months and years go on. This is the sound of a people who've been ignored, I believe, for far too
Yeah,
long.
they
I mean,
have. Yeah,
their voices. This is mums with pushchairs. It's dads who've had enough. Fathers wanting to protect their children, and the Guardian are calling them far right. It's
yeah,
pensioners who remember what this country used to be like and are horrified at what's crept in, whilst their heads were looking down and the nation was thinking of other things. And to be honest, this is not about race. It's not really about ideology when you come to think of
yeah,
it. This is about a betrayal of the British people. The communities turning up outside these asylums, hotels, they're not radicalized. They're not radicalized far right. They're actually, if you think of it, the one thing that is radical is that they're radically abandoned. They're watching the system turn their towns into pressure cookers. And we should. A
yeah,
lot of people are angry. I'm angry. We're all angry about this, but we have to remain calm and not do anything stupid. Because just look, you can see the way the rhetoric's going. They want to arrest people. They want to get the far right, who is just probably you and me, just normally ordinary people who are not
yeah,
far right. Jeff, have you got the
yeah.
video
But
there? Footage?
yeah, but Richard, the one of the things here is that there are masked people from that have somehow appeared on the side, supposedly, of the protesters. Everybody's giving them a hard time. There are some masked people there, but everyone forgets about Antifa are totally masked
Yeah,
up
but you can
most
see
of the
Antifa
time,
there.
dressed in black.
At the
So
start,
it goes on both sides.
yes,
But,
if you look
you
back,
know,
you can see Antifa with the masks on right at the back there.
yeah,
You can see
yeah,
them.
yeah,
There they are.
yeah,
There they are telling people, right, that, sort of like refugees welcome, etc., when there's a different sentiment in the local area. Who are these people coming there to say this to them? Who are
yeah.
they?
Many of
You know?
them are coming in and actually egging the crowd on to be violent. They are,
Exactly.
and they're not their friends, I can assure you. They're just there to
Exactly.
cause trouble. And that's why when Tommy Robinson runs these affairs, he has people that just stop the masked people going anywhere, just gets rid of them. And
Yes.
at the moment, I've got to say that people are still protesting peacefully, but this can't go on forever, can it? How are local men expected to behave when their womenfolk and daughters are extremely worried about their safety? What are they meant to do? Pack up and leave their house and go somewhere else? Is that the answer? To leave
Yeah.
it to the rest? And how can Antifa and the like continue to call ordinary people racists and bigots for wanting to protect their women and daughters? The job of husbands and fathers is to
Yes.
protect their wives and offspring. And the job of the police is to protect the innocent, not facilitate those bad guys like Antifa.
Yes.
I just get really sort of wound up by this, as you can tell.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
I'm
sort of,
looking. Look, the police have turned up, not to protect the girls and to protect anyone, but to fence off just basically all the people in the community and fence them out of their own streets.
yeah,
And the media have just turned up not to report on the matter, but to smear them, just to smear them as
yeah,
far right. And what's the government doing? It's just turning its face away from the whole situation as always. Oh
yeah,
no, blah 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 blah. No, far right, far right, far right. They'll be picking up on this tomorrow. You know,
yeah,
sorry, it winds me up too, Jeff. These tensions, to be honest with you, I don't believe have been exploited by the far right. I could be proven wrong. Maybe there's an element, but let's hopefully they're going to have to. If this has been people have been accused of being far right, then please provide the evidence of this far right
yeah,
ideology behind these people. Provide it. Provide it
yeah,
now instead of bloody well making out demonizing people. This is completely
yeah,
reckless, I believe, of the Guardian, and will definitely inflame tensions.
yeah,
All these secretive hotel contracts going on across the country. People are worried about them. I've heard about
yeah.
a large hotel in Wales that's just shut down, apparently for no good reason. Can't think why. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you can see on the screen, I think it's Geekite says local people in the local area, a dangerous breed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way they're viewing it. Oh, you're local. You've got local concerns. You are far right. You're a
Yes.
bigot. You're a racist. And that's, I mean, what? And what these people are telling Brother Wendell, because I listened to some of what they said, should be enough to get UK policymakers questioning what they're subjecting these people to. But they won't. They'll just keep on pressing on with this massive influx from places like Afghanistan, whatever the local collateral damage is.
Mm.
Tolerance and patience is wearing thin. Something has to change before something breaks. And I hate saying that.
That's what we don't want, Jeff. That's why you and I and many others have been trying for ages to try and get people engaged in politics and holding our politicians to account. Because this is their fault. This is down to the politicians, and it's down to the civil serpents down in Westminster. Those evil people who have encouraged this and neutered governments for generations, to be honest with you, prevented them from being able to enact policies. The whole thing is disgusting. A good comment here, agent provocateurs. I'm sure there are agent provocateurs there.
Yeah.
Yes, I can well believe it. And I'm hearing things that I'm going to have to check as hopefully things are not kicking off. To be honest with you, because I'm feeling very, very worried about this one. But you can see it; people are angry, and it's good that people show a force to say, to raise their objections. But I don't think, I don't think we should ever go down a certain route. And that's my own personal belief. But I don't know. Who am I to say? My children were not being dealt with there.
Yeah. I'm trying to get
Oh,
on.
hang on. Yes, I'm starting to see it now. Signs of disorders attacking. Oh, they're attacking. Crowds are attacking police vans right now, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get this to you, Jeff.
Yeah,
I've got a
okay.
funny
I'm
feeling
just trying to.
I
I'm
won't
just
be able
logging
to
on
actually.
myself. So
I
sorry,
won't.
everyone. We've had a bit of a problem logging on to see some of this. So we're trying to catch up with what's going on right now at the hotel, and it
Yeah, they're
seems.
attacking police vans right now. I'm seeing evidence of this.
Well, we're
If
not
this is
showing
correct,
that.
no, of course we're not. No, different angle of it kicking off. Just people are furious,
Yeah.
and please calm down. That's all we can ask.
Yeah.
But I'm not there. It's not my daughter.
Yeah. I know. I'm
I
sorry.
think we
I'm
should
just
get that,
still
that one off
looking
the
for.
screen at the moment, Jeff. Let's if we can just take this old
Sorry.
footage off. We'll get the old footage off the screen there, Jeff.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I hadn't realised it stopped. Yeah. Well, I've got another one there that we can add. This is from earlier. So they're talking about protecting their kids, and it looks, very peaceful. If things are changing now, then that's a very, very sad state of affairs, I'm afraid.
It's a worrying sign. I am very worried about this situation, Jeff, and I hope that
Mm,
things do calm down. I mean, what else can I say?
yeah,
As I said, and here's Stephen Gower saying, "Calm down." Look, I get it. I know how you're feeling. I mean, is
yeah,
this righteous indignation? Is this righteous anger that is coming out in people? But I can't at the same time
yeah.
ever. I can get thrown in jail, you see, ladies and gentlemen, for saying that certain things. So I can't
Yeah.
say them. All I can say is calm down. I think you know what I'm saying there, which is calm down. Yes.
Mm,
Let's go through some of the comments here, Jeff.
yeah, I'm just looking now, like this one. The government does not serve the people; it serves its EU WEF sponsors, which yeah, and that seems to be the thing, doesn't it? That they just want that. All we are is just a piece of real estate to put people on who want to come here and have a better life, and it's no longer a home for us. It's no longer a home for us, for all people who are born here or who have come here legally and fitted in, or people who've been here for generations. It's no longer for you. It's no longer. You have no extra rights over this piece of rock than anyone just coming in on the beach. That's where we're going, and that's the way the government wants it. That's the way the United Nations wants it, and that's the way the World Economic Forum wants it. And they are making sure that that happens right under our noses. We need to somehow find a political solution to this.
Well, the politicians aren't bloody well coming forward, are they? There's only two who are coming forward right now. Well, three: Rupert Lowe, Ben Habib, and especially Nick Tenconi. People are furious. We're all fuming, and we've got to just try and think of a way out of this that doesn't involve. Because the worst thing is, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I fear. If you knew where this could end up, just think about what happened last year when people were banged away, when they were locked away for silly little tweets. Have no doubt, people now, they're absolutely boiling. Silly little tweets will be going out. The jails will be emptied, our prisons will be emptied of the worst types of criminals to make ready for grannies who just put something in anger out on. That's what they're waiting for. Please know this situation. Starmer is ready to do this. But at some point, they have to listen to us, Jeff. They have to. Yeah. They have to listen. They have to do something. These hotels are not acceptable. This mass immigration is not acceptable to people. They are very, very concerned about their own neighborhoods. This is not racism. It's not far right. This is parental worry. People that care about their children. For goodness sake.
Yeah, as someone says here, Lilith, Richard, 100%. Yeah. Yes. On a lighter note, at least Diane Abbott has been fired or been, shut out of the party. But that makes little difference. She was one of them anyway, one of those types anyway, that was totally for destroying Britain as far as I'm concerned.
Well, there was only one type of racism with her. There was no other type other than her type, which she believed was racism, and that was it.
Yeah, there's no racism against the Jews was possible because that's completely different racism.
That was absolutely unforgivable when she said that, to be honest with you, as well as many other comments. So I'm just going to do a checkup while my phone still has battery. What a time!
I haven't been able to find any evidence online of what you were talking about. A policeman being attacked. Sorry?
Oh, you won't find it probably. Let me just check the papers. I mean,
yeah, if you could, that'd be great. Oh, wait a minute, I've got it here. 17 minutes ago, Bell Hotel, they got pictures of a police van being attacked. Yes, by people. Which is really sad because one of them's wearing an England flag. Doesn't go down very well, I'm afraid, when people are doing that sort of thing.
That'll be weaponized. A patriot standing up.
That'll be used, English thugs again. Right wing,
At the same time, we cannot in any way condone.
He'll be paraded through the courts.
Yes.
He'll be paraded through the courts. Full name, address, family detail, the whole lot.
Yes, but we have Jeff. We cannot condone his actions at the same time.
No,
it's just very sad.
Not his actions.
How do we know this person is not an agent provocateur? What an excellent way to smear people than to get agent provocateurs dressed in, with shaven heads, looking like you and me, Jeff, with England flags on them, and get them to attack the police. Yeah. Makes me sick.
But another one says that a small handful of pathetic supporters of the R word and those who commit the R word are currently being contained for their own safety. Yeah, well, vastly outnumbered by concerned residents.
Yes,
Sorry?
You've got residents who are worried about the safety of their women and their children. You have mothers worried about the safety of their children. Fathers worried about the safety of their children and their wives. Wives worried for their own safety. And then you have a group of people saying, oh, look, don't, you should, this worry you have, it's not real worry, it's racism, it's far right. You've been radicalized, you've been indoctrinated. That's the way that the people are being made to feel by these, these I haven't got a word for these Antifa types or whatever, whoever they are. I mean, we say Antifa; it's a broad term that we use just to describe these whatever they are. You're not
Yeah,
far right
so
for wanting to protect your kids. Sorry, you're not.
no, of course you're not. Of course you're not far right wanting to protect your family and your
Mm.
livelihood and your property and your community. Epping probably had a very, very, very nice community. And someone had to come along and there's a nice community. We better ruin that one. Now the next one, I'm sorry, but that's how I view it at the moment. They don't care about the collateral damage that they're doing to local communities. They don't care. And nor do the owners of these hotels who are earning vast amounts of money. And nor do the people that supply all the goods for the hotels and supply the security and all the rest of it. All at taxpayers' expense.
Yes, but and then we're seeing that these hotels, then, from which I've witnessed it on Twitter, where the police there, and the police are actually confirmed that there are Deliveroo, whatever, not Deliveroo necessarily, of course, can't pick on one company, but there are delivery bikers going out from the hotel, delivering food that was prepared in the hotel, probably paid for by the taxpayer. Yeah.
Yeah, here's Jason Felmingham Lee. Be very careful what you say on here. The state are probably monitoring all these channels. Well, at one recent protest or one recent march, it wasn't even a protest. It was a sort of more of a march, a gathering. I went up to a couple of police officers just to ask them a question. Basically, I asked them, is it true that Tommy will be arrested if he turns up here at that march? And they said, oh, no, no, no. But then they say, oh, I've seen you on YouTube, and how's your mates? And he named a couple of other YouTubers. I won't name on here, but he asked, how are they?
Look,
and I thought, that's
if
interesting.
we can't speak our minds, we have freedom of speech in this country. Neither of us are inciting anything. We are seeing a swell of anger in the country. We're all feeling it. Okay, most people are feeling this anger right now, in some respect. Most people have had an absolute gutsful. Why do you think Reform is going up in the polls? Because they believe that Reform will do something about this dreadful situation. Now then, if you're not inciting anything, if you're making comment about people's anger, and I'm sorry, you feel it yourself. I mean, it's okay though for people on the far left to get angry and vocal about things on television and on social media. But we, people who do care about this country and our families, are not allowed to vocalize it. Really? Oh, do you know what? Send me to effing prison. I've had enough. What are we actually doing that is so wrong, other than speaking our minds? Yes, these are tense times. Jeff, you and I have done nothing but tell people we need to calm down. We need the political route, even though we're angry. Yes, observe your anger. Realize that it's justified to feel anger when there is injustice. Feel anger, but anger doesn't necessarily mean you have to go and throw it into a negative outcome. That's what it doesn't mean. Sorry, thank you for your super chat here, Nomad. For the first time in human history, a whole continent is being successfully invaded without a single war. I couldn't possibly comment on that one, I'm afraid, Nomad.
Anyway,
good grief, no.
Yeah. So Stewie here says, get a backbone, Jeff. What am I meant to do? To be honest, am I meant to go out there and get a baton and machine gun and something, which no one else is doing? Am I meant to be the one to do that? I'm on here. I'm on here with my face. My address is well known. The police know who I am. And I'm talking like this. Don't you think I'm doing enough?
No, Jeff, I think people want us just to go to jail and become martyrs. You know,
and then
I've seen this time and time again when I've seen other YouTubers being criticized for not doing enough. Oh, I'm sorry. What are you doing about it? Where's your channel? Are you prepared to risk your family? Do you have young children as well? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, someone is saying that the van attack was not at the hotel. It was down the road by a shell garage where there were people with masks. Yeah, it depends, I suppose, what the exact
in the vicinity.
It's in the same area, so it's the same. It's the same event. It depends on who was doing the attacking. and
Exactly.
that's the real thing. And I tend to get the idea that there are. I mean, I've come across them in a couple of protests where there's a small group of masked people and they stay away from everyone else and then suddenly interject themselves at certain points. And so you're thinking, you're not with me. You don't think the same way as I do. So what are you doing? So
Yes.
there you go.
But I can feel there is a revolution potentially going to take place. It has been spoken about by so many of the commentators. Dr. David Betts talking about civil war. We have mentioned it ourselves, Jeff. These are things which it does appear are heading our way. A civil war and a revolution is only as far away as the politicians allow it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because if they allow the British people to be continuously downtrodden and have the urine extracted from them, we'll say, then
Yeah.
at some point, I fear that there will be a backlash. And there's always going to be, this is the worst thing, and I've spoken about this before, there'll always be the potential of overreach in reaction. And that is
Yeah.
hideous thought. Overreach means terrible things happening, and we don't want
Yeah.
that. Look, do you know what? It's time, come on here, guys. You can vent your spleens, but be careful as well what you say. Jeff and I are doing our best to be careful what we say. At the same time, how do you not express anger when you have ordinary, decent people? My anger is totally directed right now towards the Guardian more than anything, than the establishment. The whole press, the entire machine,
Yeah.
which is there, calling ordinary, decent people far right. And if there are agent provocateurs or unsightly people, not very nice, potentially far right people there is always the potential of that, Jeff. We have to admit
Yeah, I
that
know.
at all times. But if those people are there, don't think it's the majority. It's a few of them. Do they make these same comments when you've got people chanting from the river to the sea, calling out hideous,
No.
racist, anti-Semitic language against people? Do the police batter an eyelid about that? No, they allowed it to happen. There was no outrage there.
Yeah.
There was no far left. There was no. I mean, those are the ones who are the real far right, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, anyway, Sam Rowbottom says the boats will keep coming until 2029. That is what the contracts with the hotels say. Yes, there's loads of contracts with hotels, and you can search them out online, although it does take a bit of doing. And a lot of these contracts run for several years. This isn't we need a few contracts for a few days. This is long-term annual contracts, 5 years. And in some cases, they're not even used. They're empty. I think was it 5,000 empty rooms are kept at any one time in case there's a big influx suddenly. That's where we're at. This isn't asylum.
Look, Jeff, there's a huge difference. This is what people need to understand, okay? Because I usually get the sort of far right thing and racist thing thrown at me. Yes, because most of you probably know this, I am the son of an Iranian immigrant myself, okay? I am half Viking, half Scottish, Irish, and English, all combined there on my mother's side. My father's side is Iranian, okay? There was a time when people could sort of come into a country and integrate. My father came here to study at Oxford, blah, 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 blah. That was a time when, things were very different in the world. But now you're talking about mass immigration with no cultural filters applied. Absolutely disgusting. My own members of my own family are Muslim. I'm a Christian. I was raised a Christian after I was adopted and raised by a Welsh family. God bless them.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on here talking about all this sort of thing. And you just stand back. When you stand back and look at it sort of in the cold light of day, it's very hard to see how this is just sort of happened out of nowhere. Just suddenly happened in all European countries and America and New Zealand and Australia. All sort of started at the same time using the same techniques, didn't it? And they continue using the same techniques. And most of the time it is to attack us. And then when you try to react, they call themselves the victims. And so that's something that's happened. I've seen it so many times. There was, people in this recent Afghanistan thing, that they're trying to all claim they're victims when they're not, or, "Oh, I didn't know anything about this. I'm a victim of it." Say these politicians, "I didn't know, but I'm a victim of it." Well, you should have known.
Yeah, I'm now witnessing, if this is from outside the Bell Hotel, a little bit of argy-bargy going on there.
All right, okay.
Yes. But in other footage I'm going through here, I'm seeing, look, women, children, mothers.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing far right here. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the footage. I'm seeing, and then, yes, there are masked people attacking police vans. Who are they? Who are
Yeah.
they? Where are they from? Are they far right? They look more like Antifa to me than what I would call the far right. The far right, to be honest with you, they puff their chests out and they wear yeah, I'm looking at some of these guys here. They don't look, they've got English flags on them, but they don't look like the sort, yeah. Your typical sort of far right is quite proud of his let's say, his white Anglo-Saxon background and heritage, okay? They're very proud of that, and they display it. These guys, funnily enough, are not. Strange.
Yes, have these guys never heard of Barbara Lerner Spectre? Oh, dear. Yeah, we've also heard of other people. Heard of lots of people. Yeah, so we have. Right. Looking at this situation, yeah, I'm not seeing anything actually developing at the moment from what I can see on Twitter.
I'm
It
just
seems to have
checking the
calmed
news
down a little
again,
bit. I
Jeff.
may be wrong, but
I'm just checking if there's any latest updates in the news.
yeah, this is a good call. I mean, a lot of these are economic migrants, not refugees or asylum seekers. They're coming from places where there is no war. But the trouble is, the left have now made it their mission that if anyone is even out of pocket for the week, they are therefore entitled to asylum, basically, because they're seeking a better life or a more prosperous life is sort of like claiming asylum from poverty from their government and all the rest of it, and it's our fault and we must pay up and we must be tolerant of everything they do. It's all got too much. The people have had enough. You can't decamp all these people here and expect us to just sit back and tolerate it and end up out of pocket and have nothing to show for it. It's not the right way ahead for this civilized country. I'm sorry, but we can't help everybody. If we went over there and helped them, it would be called colonialism, wouldn't it? And they throw us out anyway. They threw us out, so they don't want us. So why come here? That's my view. Anyway.
So I'm just checking, Jeff, if you could keep going there. I'm just checking for any latest. There's some comments. There's one or two comments saying something very unfortunate may have happened to somebody there. I'm just checking on that. I can't confirm that or deny it.
Someone has just been hit by a police car, it says here.
Well, yes, I've just seen it. An old man may have, but we don't know. We cannot confirm or deny that.
So don't draw any conclusions against that.
Yes, we don't want to come to conclusions, and we don't want to spread misinformation either, or disinformation. That's what we're not. I think we know what happens when people do that.
Yeah. As Nomad says, why European natives are being called the R word when no other continent allows a single illegal migrant? Why not Arab countries, for instance? Well, this is a good point, isn't it? There are a lot. I mean, it's like Egypt and the Gazans. They just shut the Rafah crossing. You're not coming in. You're staying in Gaza. We don't want you. Same as the Jordanians said exactly the same thing.
Yes, there's many places in. I don't believe there are many, if any, countries in the Middle East, other than possibly Israel, where you can say free Palestine. I'm not even sure if you can do it in Israel, but that tends to be banned. That does in nearly all Middle Eastern countries.
Hamas is banned in more countries than this one.
Yes,
and it's more countries in the Middle East than there are in the West. We're so tolerant of these people. It's just unbelievable. And Precious Quinty De Vere, thank you very much. Detention centres, not hotels. It is cheaper and safer
Right.
for us. Antifa are enabling these grifters. Enough is enough. I agree. We do need to have proper places. If they're coming across undocumented, that should raise so many alarm bells in people's heads. Who are you? Where are you from? Where's your proof? If they're silent or won't provide it, there should be so many alarm bells and warning signals coming from that. But that they don't. They go, oh, I see you've got hair, long hair, you've got old teeth, you look a bit wrinkled. Oh, you must be 15. That's what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeff, I'm getting something. I'm just reading from Adam Brooks on Twitter. It says there was two very different situations in Epping. Hundreds of people gathered at the Bell Hotel to protest the migrant hotel in town, one that has numerous incidents against local women and children. This was peaceful and full of elderly, of women and of kids, okay? And then there's something else. Then after that, it says, what then happened was the police escorted 50 Antifa down towards the hotel with masks on and covered faces. The riot police then had to kettle those extremists into a side street due to loads of local teenagers and youths coming out to challenge them. What we've seen is not good, but questions have to be asked. Why are Antifa allowed to turn up for trouble with masks on? That sparked the violence in Epping. Tonight. Nothing else. This is not a far-right protest. It is a town of worried parents, uncles and grandparents.
Yeah, the police should be questioned on this. Why did you escort people? The very fact that the police have to escort them is because they're worried for their safety. So why take them into that area? Why not say, no, you're staying here? If it was a bunch of Tommy's people there, they would have kept them in the nearest town. They wouldn't even have let them got near. But Antifa, all those people, the police are so captured by them. Oh, yes, come along and we'll probably help you beat them up. You know, I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm questioning.
Someone is asking if it was the police in masks. Well, you don't know these days, do you?
I'm questioning if it was. I'm questioning why did they bring Antifa down there? Why would they bring Antifa to a flashpoint? Why would they direct? Very strange, Jeff. Very strange indeed. You know, questions.
Someone's saying it's really getting to me. Yes, it is. You know, it's just imagine if I'm lucky that where my family lives, they don't have these problems at the moment. But if they had those concerns, don't you think I'd be with them? Don't you think that I'd be concerned? I would be concerned. Why aren't the police officers thinking about their families in the same way?
Yeah. So did you read this with a super chat from Nomad? I don't know if you've seen that one. Why European natives are being called?
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah,
you've done that one. Okay, thank you.
I've done both of those. Yeah.
Sorry, Nomad. I've been too busy looking at other things here.
Nose into Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's loads of comments on here that I can't really talk about. I mean,
look, at the end of the day, you know, people are angry. We're all very angry. We do have to calm down. It's good to get some of this out in some respect, but protest, there's nothing wrong with protesting. That's the point. Protesting, peaceful protesting. As Adam Brooks said, you've got elderly people, you've got men, women, and children, grandparents, aunts and uncles, nieces, nephews, everyone. There's a whole lot of there. The community's there. They're coming out and they're being called far right. And yet, along comes Antifa, marched into a flashpoint. And then all of a sudden we've seen these images and this footage of violence. And we're like, we're wondering, well, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah. I wonder indeed.
Yes, and I wonder who will end up in cells and who will end up in whatever. Yeah. Freddie Lit, thanks very much. Why do you Lotus Eaters, Zakhad, all afraid to say it like it is? This has been going on for years since World War II. The Kalagi Plan. Yeah, I've talked about the Kalagi Plan before, and I've also mentioned the fact that there's an EU prize for the Kalagi Prize for who has helped the EU expand and do better than anyone else. And there are several notable people who have won the Kalagi Prize. So I have talked about it before. Yeah, I just think that that's one prong of it. It's there's loads of things out there that point towards all this being part of a large plan. I just look at it and I cannot believe that people look at it. Oh, that's a bit of an accident, isn't it? Or why are those people concerned over there when they're getting royally shafted? No, we have talked about it before. Sometimes I just get fed up with talking about the same things. I used to talk about it a lot years ago, but you just move on and you're looking at the situation as it is right now. And I'm not so concerned about those people. What I'm concerned about is us taking back control in this country. And that's what we need to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking on GB News. I can't see anything on here at all.
Everybody in the mainstream media catches up with this far later because they've got to go and check their sources. They've got to make sure it's 100% right.
Yes, well, here's the beauty of what we do. We also do the same thing. We take a look and say, this is what has been broadcast. This is on Twitter. This is what we are seeing on Twitter. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. We've always said that all the way through. It's like, for goodness sake. We're getting, but lots of reports from decent citizen journalists tend to add up, to be honest with you. They tend to hold more weight far more weight than what the mainstream media says anyway, that's for sure.
Yes. Probably
Steve
I've been a bit.
Now, Steve, I cannot confirm or deny your comment, but you just said someone just got run over by the police. I witnessed it. We'll take your word on that, Steve. But we cannot confirm or deny it.
Yeah, I've seen several comments saying that they've seen it online that someone has been.
But Jeff, these could be far right or Antifa types, trying to
I know.
say naughty things and wind everyone up and get them all more angry than they are. Yes.
Well, there was that. Now, who was it? That was it? Hope Not Hate leader at the time or something was talking about women from a certain demographic being attacked by people throwing substances. White racists throwing substances in their faces.
Yeah.
Total lie. It was never proven. Never happened, and nothing happened to him. Yeah.
No, of course not. And the same with Ricky Jones. What he said, nothing happened.
Well, he's up in front of the beak, I think, at some stage.
Yes, but didn't he get bail?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm pretty much certain he did. I may be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He may
I'm not sure he received the same treatment that Lucy Connolly did. That's for sure. Thank you, Rebellious Joy. Revolution on British soil is inevitable, and hopefully it will be a political one. But indeed, there are things looking very, very unpleasant at the moment in this country. And not just here, in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, and across Europe. Yes, so Caroline...
this is one I haven't heard. This is one I haven't heard from FPV Angel. In Ireland, and I'm assuming you mean the Republic of Ireland, it seems they can sue the Irish taxpayer for not having a house ready for them. Yes, and we're having very soon people from Afghanistan who we save from the Taliban who can sue us because we let some data out, and we save them by bringing them across, but they can still sue us.
Yes. So I'm just going to keep checking, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. As my battery runs down.
I believe this. If masks should be illegal immediately, arrest and 5k fine paid immediately or go to prison till it's paid. I agree with that. The only people who should wear masks in protest environments are those little old ladies who go along. I mean, I remember meeting some of them. I was off at a Tommy rally, and these little old ladies at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they knew this stage wasn't going to be ready till 2 o'clock. They set up their chairs at the front, and they sat in them, and they were going to sit there because they couldn't walk anywhere because they're too old to go on the march. They were going to sit there and save their place right in front of the stage. And they were there for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 hours before the show started. Those are the people that should wear masks because they're a bit frail. They might need to feel that they're safe behind a mask. That's fair enough. But young men going into these places with masks, no. If you're going to protest, you do it openly and honestly. If you've got a mask on, I question you. I question your validity as a protester. I really do. I really do. You're not there for the good. Don't wear masks.
I'm just taking a look here at something. There may be a live feed I can view of this, what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a live feed of what's going on here. It's at one specific location. There are people masked up. There are people covering their face, and this does not look like. This looks like people who are separate from the protesters.
Yeah.
There does appear to be two different events going on here.
Yes. Well, one lot is concerned, and the other one wants to push forward with this whole thing. And if it's the Caligari plan, does that mean they're all Jews? Does that mean all these Antifa types are Jews then, pushing their plan? I don't know. I can't work it out.
Yeah, well, I doubt it very much, Jeff. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I know you say that in jest, but it's... So I'm looking at this. I think we are seeing some very angry young men out there, and
yeah,
if their mothers, sisters, and etc. are not safe anymore, you can imagine that they would, and their girlfriends, you can imagine there would be a level of tension and anger running through. As I said, this is not condoning anything. This is trying to understand the psychology. This is an intellectual exercise purely, trying to understand the psychology of those young men. Or it could be Antifa.
Peter Barber says, "Free Lucy Connolly now." Couldn't
Absolutely
agree more. That's a travesty of justice. I don't care what the judge says. Yeah. Yes, and John the Logger says, "Far right, you mean the people that was right all along?" Yes, yeah, not far right, always right. Yeah. Oh, here goes. Carol Georgina says, "Yes, he got bail." I'm assuming that's in answer to your question. I didn't know.
Jones, yes. Yeah.
City Gent says, "Calm down." Yes, let's all calm down and not show our anger. That's
showing anger. There's nothing wrong with showing anger and venting anger. It's an emotion. They can't tell us the establishment cannot tell us how to feel and what to think. But what we have to do is be careful with our actions. That's the important thing. We all need to listen to Keir Starmer. He has our best interest at heart, don't you know?
Absolutely. Yes. So does Diane Abbott. Yeah.
Yes. And Jeremy Corbyn. God bless him.
Now here's something that sort of all adds to the mix. Says Peter Small, "My food bill has gone from 130 quid to 274 a month. I cannot keep that up for too long." I know. The trouble is that this is one way. Once it's got to 274 a month, it stays there or gets higher. The only way that you can combat that is have a higher income, which most people can't just switch on and off. They can't, especially pensioners. So that is another factor that does not work well for this government. They're making a right horlicks of it.
I honestly am people saying, yes, there's people whipping up anger and racial hatred about the Bell Hotel. So you can't be concerned without being branded.
No, you're not meant to be concerned. You're meant to sit back and take it for the sake of diversity. Yes. Other people's diversity. In fact, it's not diversity. It's other people's aims and ambitions. Not for us. Oh, dear.
And just
Yes.
if there's any updates here from Adam Brooks, no, not at the moment. Fair play to him, excellent commentary from him, and he was there at the last protest as well.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's there on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they were saying Antifa was there. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're there trying to make your voice heard quietly or legally and in peacefully at a hotel, and a group of people start throwing racist claims of racism and all that at you, they are going to be basically the Antifa types. They are ardent.
mm.
They have no time. In fact, they have no toleration of your concerns. If you're concerned, no, they're not tolerant of them at all. The only thing they're tolerant of is other people telling you to get in your box, go home, shut up, pay the tax, and do as you're told. And we
Yeah.
should be
I'm
getting
seeing
angry
footage
about
here
that.
of lots of peaceful. Still lots of peaceful protesting going on there. You know, the
Yeah.
locals there do appear to be protesting peacefully. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
who knows? I mean, I can't say for definite if that nobody has lost their rag and done something stupid, but. And didn't you say earlier that people had their masks in their face? They're too frightened of being called racist or something earlier.
Well, no, there's
Wendell.
some people who Wendell was there saying waving people over in his normal, "Come on, come and talk to me," and they said they didn't want to talk to him, even though he said he'd keep them off the camera,
Mm.
and they wouldn't come up. So, but two masked guys did step forward. You'd have to watch his live stream that he's doing at the moment to go back to that stage to see what they said. But I didn't catch it because we were just going online just as he was doing it. So
I'm
I
wondering
muted
how
it. So I
far
don't
they've
know what they
pulled
said.
these police in from as well, these protests, how far the police have had to travel. If this is, from
Yeah.
outside the area to
Yeah.
try and keep
Now,
a lid on the
Steve
situation.
Chilton here says, yeah, Steve Chilton says some of the right are masked up. They are young lads. Antifa are young lads too. And
Yes.
they're not averse to pretending who they're not. I can assure you. So I don't
And
believe
again,
any of it.
why are we calling people the right? Why are they on the right? You instantly, because you're there and you're angry and you're young, all of a sudden, what you're on the right, are you? Okay. I suppose
Yeah.
the same token you could say, are they on the left on Antifa because they've got masks on? Yeah, potentially, because a lot of them were. I saw lots of them earlier were waving banners saying, refugees welcome, etc. Say no to racism, all that sort of thing. There is clearly a divide going on here, and thank you to Bob Hunter, I think it is. Yes, I'm sick of having my nose stuck in diversity.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Me too. I mean, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not racist to value your own sort of culture. To be honest with you, and your own stability and baseline. I mean, for instance, if this was in let's say in Morocco, okay, there is a certain way of life there. If this was say in Marrakesh, there is a certain way of life. It is the baseline, and I don't think you see too many football lads coming together there from England and trying to set up their own thing going on there. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't be allowed, and in most of those countries, it wouldn't either, including the one which my biological father comes from, which is Iran. Okay, so before you start throwing the racist card, it don't work on me. Thank you.
Someone's being clever here. Caribbean prepper. Would you Brits be open to taking your people back from USA, Australia, New Zealand, etc.? Did you integrate with the locals? Clowns.
Do you know what?
Hundreds of years ago. Hundreds of
Exactly.
years ago. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like reparations for slavery. It's the same thing. It's like, what? What? That happened so many years ago. And there's slavery still going on right now in the world, mainly in the Middle East
In
and in
Africa.
Africa. And it's not, in fact, there's more slavery now than there's ever been.
Yep.
It's the same argument.
Yeah, I know. And that happened so many years ago. And if they, what would you do with them anyway?
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's, I think we're going to have to wrap this up and hopefully things will calm down in Epping.
Yeah.
What I will say is,
Epping well hope so.
yeah, exactly. And just pray, pray. Look, prayer does work. I know we don't do it. One of the reasons we're in this situation today in the United Kingdom is because we don't pray. We've walked away from our Christian
Yeah.
heritage, not just heritage, but from being a Christian nation. And as soon as that happened, the doors opened to anything. A vacuum was left, a power vacuum. And that vacuum, unfortunately, is being filled. Secularism opened the door to something else. And that thing is now an issue for us. So let us pray for everyone, even those who we see as our enemies. Okay? I know Christ said that's what we have to do. Not very easy. I'm probably not at that place myself right now, so I'm not going to be able to do that prayer myself. But I think we should, when we calm down, everyone please pray for those that oppose us, those with different ideologies, different belief systems. Yeah, that's what it is to be a Christian, and it's not easy. I know some of you are going to say, I'm not doing that, but that's what we were told
Yeah.
to do by Jesus. And if we're a Christian nation, we have to start acting like Christians. Very difficult to do.
But you don't have to die just because someone else tells you to, just because you're a Christian. Anyway, I think we've said enough. I'm hoping this will resolve itself, because if this sort of thing continues, it just shows that the authorities don't care. They'll just put the police in front of you, stand Antifa behind them, keep calling you racists, and it will just continue. And they'll just have to then fill another hotel and another one. I hate to think how many hotels we've got now and how many rooms are on standby now. Those hotels used to give jobs. They used to bring tourists into the area and provide income.
The Irish economy has collapsed with what's happened there. Their tourist industry, sorry, I should say, has completely collapsed. Bob Hunter, thank you for your super chat. The poor girl 2 days ago sent home for celebrating English culture. How dare that school and education indoctrination department enforce idiocy? Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Just her. It wasn't just her.
No, it
either.
wasn't just her. No,
It was a
there were other children as well.
anti-UK effort by that school.
It was also for a young man who dressed. One child dressed as a farmer. I believe, some Welsh flag, whatever. I believe, and
do not celebrate your culture in these schools. That's what you're being told. It's only other people's cultures. Your culture does not exist.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm angry enough.
Yes.
I need a beer to overcome my anger.
Yes, but please, everyone, pray for peace. Always do it. Do it. And do you know that there's going to be people throwing accusations at Jeff and myself for even reporting on this and saying, "Oh, you're instigating, you're inciting just by reporting." I'm sorry. This is what the news should be. We can't report on events taking place in this country, taking place
and
now,
have an opinion on it.
And
have an opinion on it.
What's wrong with an opinion?
Exactly.
But our opinion always remains the same, and that is we should be a Christian country. And we should, as Christians, act like Christians, as a Christian nation. Okay? Anyway, God bless you all. And please like this video, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to become a member as well, usual thing, just sign up as a member. It's on YouTube. You can see a join button or whatever, usually on your laptop. And there we go.
Yeah, so all I can say is have a good evening, everybody.
Yes,
and
indeed.
It's easy for me to say, isn't it? Be calm. Whenever I'm told to be calm, it just makes me more irate, I'm afraid.
Be calm.
But anyway, so I shall now order myself to be calm and open a can of beer. So there you go. And on that note, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye.